Columbus State University baseball on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540 WDAK. Cougar Baseball is sponsored by Pepsi, Burger King, the Wingate Hotel in Bradley Park, CB&T, and the St. Francis Orthopedic Institute. Now, let's go to the ballpark for Cougar Baseball on News Radio 540 WDAK.
This afternoon, the Columbus State University Cougars are at home at Ragsdale Field to take on the GRU Augusta Jaguars in a Peach Belt Conference doubleheader. Hi again, everyone. Scott Miller, high above beautiful Ragsdale Field here on the campus of Columbus State, where Mother Nature showed she's still unbeaten with her performance last night. It rained out game one of this series and canceled that game, so it has now become a two-game series with a doubleheader today. CSU comes in with a 31-11 record overall, 14-10 in Peach Belt play. Augusta is 14-23 with a 7-14 record in conference play. Matt Golden is our studio producer. We'll be back and talk with Coach Greg Appleton here on Senior Day. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
In blind taste test, consumers are asked to choose which cola taste they prefer.
I usually drink Coke, but the Pepsi was way better than the Coke. You can tell the difference.
I was a little bit surprised that Pepsi's sweeter.
Pepsi hit it right on the money.
Nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi versus Coke where they have a preference.
I'm a Coke drinker, and I took the Pepsi challenge, and I like Pepsi. I'll give Pepsi a shot, though.
Let your taste decide. Pepsi, a Southern original.
Looking for relaxing and comfortable overnight accommodations in Columbus? Call the Wingate Hotel. You'll find newly remodeled rooms complete with HD 46-inch televisions and a secure high-speed wireless and wired internet connection. You can relax in their spa or saltwater pool. Near Bradley Park, the Wingate Hotel is convenient for shopping, dining, and entertainment, and they offer complimentary shuttle transportation to most local destinations. The Wingate Hotel, 1711 Rollins Way in Bradley Park. Call 706-225-1000.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540 WDAK.
Scott Miller back at Ragsdale Field on Senior Day as the Cougars get set to take on the Jaguars of GRU Augusta. Coach Greg Appleton joins us on the pregame show. One thing we learned last night: Mother Nature is still undefeated.
It's hard to beat water, you know. It's unfortunate that we never could get a window to get the game in. But once the big blob of green came over Columbus, it stayed there until like 10:30 last night. So we were never going to get it in, and it happened in a couple other places in the conference too. So it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, that's just baseball. What it does, it makes this a two-game series now, and gives you a lot of options out of the bullpen today.
Well, it does, but you still want to have your starters go out there and do a good job. And even though you got a lot of guys to come in and back them up, that guy needs to go in there and give you a good start, and give you 5-6 good innings, and then you can go to the bullpen. And you want to have a lead when you do it. So, yeah, it is a two-game series, which makes it tough because we got to win the series in one day. And 18 innings of baseball is tough, but we'll just have to be ready for it and give it a good shot.
Talk about your two starters today.
Well, we're going with a pair of seniors. We got Jake Ezel going to go in the first game. He was slated to go last night, so we'll bump him back to today. And then Brian Headley will throw game two. Both similar style guys, both kind of power guys, and but if they're throwing strikes, moving the ball around, being able to throw a breaking ball for a strike, we can get it done.
Talk about this Augusta team. What challenges do they present?
Well, they're if you look at their record and all that, you think, oh, well, they're not that good. But they've played teams really tough, and they've scored runs, and they have a pretty good lineup. I guess their Achilles heel is kind of been, they don't have their good pitching depth, and they don't play great defense. But it's a two-game series now, so it's not a three-game series. So the pitching depth has kind of been taken out of it. That's one of the things that kind of hurts us. But we'll just have to be ready for them.
6 games left in the regular season, counting today. I know it's that old adage, we look at them one at a time, but the goal is to get into the NCAA tournament and try to win enough to at least get an at-large bid if we don't get the automatic bid. So this is a huge week and a big push starting today.
Well, you know, we have a good resume right now because we have as many wins as anybody in the conference, and we have some quality wins, but we're in 6th place in the conference. So, you know, we have to move up the ladder, and 2 wins today and a couple wins next week will probably do it. But it's just kind of tough that now that it's only a 2-game series, we got to get it done in one day. So the guys know it. They know we need these wins. We need to move up the ladder in the conference standings for them to look at us. But yeah, I don't think they're worried about it. I think they're going out there and just going to play.
Senior Day, the guys are going to have one more regular season home game. We'll have the conference tournament here, but this was the final weekend regular season, so you do that to get the parents in. It's always a little bittersweet, isn't it?
It is. I mean, especially with these guys. We have 14 seniors, and I tell you what, these guys, there's a lot of winning in these 14 guys, and it'll be sad to see them go, but they've given us really, you know, some great moments and you know, just been great guys for us, you know, on the field and in the classroom too. It's a really well-rounded group.
All right, Greg, good luck.
Thanks, Scott.
Coach Greg Appleton will be back with the starting lineup and the play-by-play story. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
You're busy with places to go and people to see. At CB&T, we understand. That's why we created the Synovus Connections prepaid card. Use it for purchases, ATM withdrawals, and even get cash back. It's an affordable alternative to checking, simple to load, and can be replaced if lost or stolen. Plus, there's no credit check required. Let CB&T help you manage your busy lifestyle. Visit us for details or to open your Synovus Connections card today. CB&T, a division of Synovus Bank, member FDIC. Fees and restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Columbus State University, committed to excellence in the classroom and on the court. Burger King is proud to support Columbus State University. Over the years, the men's and women's teams have built a tradition of hometown success. This success is founded on a dedication to the highest standards of preparation, practice, and performance. You see it on the court, and you see it in the classroom. Columbus State University, a standard of excellence Burger King is proud to support.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540 WDAK. In blind taste test, consumers are asked to choose which cola taste they prefer.
I usually drink Coke, but the Pepsi was way better than the Coke. You can tell the difference.
I was a little bit surprised that Pepsi's sweeter.
Pepsi hit it right on the money.
Nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi versus Coke where they have a preference.
I'm a Coke drinker, and I took the Pepsi challenge, and I like Pepsi. I'll give Pepsi a shot, though.
Let your taste decide. Pepsi, a Southern original.
Looking for relaxing and comfortable overnight accommodations in Columbus? Call the Wingate Hotel. You'll find newly remodeled rooms, complete with HD 46-inch televisions and a secure high-speed wireless and wired internet connection. You can relax in their spa or saltwater pool. Near Bradley Park, the Wingate Hotel is convenient for shopping, dining, and entertainment, and they offer complimentary shuttle transportation to most local destinations. The Wingate Hotel, 1711 Rollins Way in Bradley Park. Call 706-225-1000.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540 WDAK.
Scott Miller back at the ballpark. They've just had the Senior Day ceremony on the field here at Ragsdale Field, and the 14 seniors in a group right now as they taking the official photo, and the families are all gathered around taking the photos as well. And now they break up, and the moms and dads and grandparents and relatives and friends talking to them. 14 seniors, as Coach Appleton said. It's a big senior class, and it's been a very good senior class that has piled up a lot of wins, and they're on a very good roll now and would like to see that continue. The sun has broken out here at Ragsdale today. There's a couple of umbrellas down below, and we had those yesterday, but for different reasons, as it was a monsoon here After first pitch was scheduled at 6 o'clock, they never took the tarp off because of what was moving in, and eventually called it somewhere around 7:45 last night when just had too much water on the field, and then a lot more rain was moving in last night. This field drains beautifully. I mean, it is, you would not, as much rain and as much water as this field took, not only yesterday, but all week, as you know, here in Columbus. Most places you would not be playing baseball today, but the drainage system here at Ragsdale is just fabulous. As a matter of fact, the field was dry enough to be able to take batting practice on the field today, so that'll give you an indication. Now, the outfield is still, there's some soggy spots, obviously, especially in shallow right center where the tarp is dumped. But overall, it's just really astounding. Softball field the same way with the drainage system here, and the softball team getting set to play a doubleheader against Flagler down beyond the right field fence here today. Jake Ezel will get the start here in game one. You heard Coach Appleton talk about Jake in the pregame show. Jake, one of our 14 seniors, a 6'4", 200-pound right-hander out of Bonaire, Georgia. 5-1 record and an ERA of 3.45. 47 innings, given up 44 hits, 20 runs, just 18 earned. He struck out 30 and walked 22. And he'll be going against David Bermudez. Bermudez comes in with a record of 2-0, an ERA of 3.60, and in 25 innings of work, 30 hits, 10 earned runs, 17 strikeouts, and 6 walks. And Bermudez is a 6'1", 205-pound right-handed junior out of Cumming, Georgia. Only 2 games were played in the league last night. Everybody else was rained out. Flagler beat Georgia Southwestern 5-0 down in St. Augustine, and it was North Georgia beating Francis Marion 11-5 over in Florence, South Carolina. The Cougars start today's play in 6th place in the Peach Belt. We'll run down the standings as we go along here. Matt Golden is our studio producer today. The Cougars are about set to take the field here. We're delayed a little bit because of the Senior Day festivities. There is more rain coming in tonight, but it looks like, knock on wood or formica or whatever I have here, it looks like that will be later, and we should be through with the doubleheader by then. But as you know, we're always subject to, especially in the kind of atmosphere we have weather-wise this week, we're always subject to those pop-up thunderstorms. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. But it's partly sunny right now. We've got clouds all around, but the sun has broken through here, at least for the moment, at Ragsdale. And we'll take one final pregame break, and we will come back and get this one underway as the Cougars and the Jaguars about to go at it in a Peach Belt Conference doubleheader here at Columbus. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
If you have family or friends looking for great overnight accommodations in Columbus, call the Wingate Hotel. You'll find newly remodeled rooms complete with HD 46-inch TVs and secure high-speed wireless and wired internet. Near Bradley Park in North Columbus, the Wingate Hotel is close to shopping, dining, and entertainment. And after your busy day, relax in their saltwater pool or spa. They offer a complimentary shuttle to most local destinations. The Wingate Hotel, 1711 Rollins Way in Bradley Park, 706-225-1000.
In blind taste tests, consumers are asked to choose which cola taste they prefer.
I usually drink Coke, but the Pepsi was way better than the Coke. You can tell the difference.
I was a little bit surprised. The Pepsi's sweeter.
Pepsi hit it right on the money.
Nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi versus Coke where they have a preference.
I'm a Coke drinker, and I took the Pepsi challenge, and I like Pepsi. I'll give Pepsi a shot now.
Let your taste decide. Pepsi, a Southern original. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540 WDAK.
All right, our national anthem here at the ballpark, and we're just about ready to get this one underway. Set the Cougars defensively for you. Matt Nettles is out in left. Brendan Collins is the center fielder. Jackson Oliver is in right, of course. Blake Edwards is at third base. Ryan Eiley, the shortstop. Carson Bowers, the second baseman. Chris Daniel, the first baseman. Jake Ezel is on the mound, and the catcher here in game one today is Dustin Averett. Cougars are all in white today. The white tops, blue sleeves, white pants, and they've got the solid blue cap on with the CSU. Got the red letters and the red numbers. Good-looking uniform. This is personally my favorite uniform that the Cougars are wearing these days. The Jaguars of GRU Augusta. That's Georgia Regents University Augusta. They used to be Augusta State, and I will slip back into that at some point, I'm sure. But GRU Augusta wearing the gray tops and bottoms and the blue numbers and numerals here today. The wind, not much of it today. A little slight breeze out to right center. And that's it. Cougars come in here ranked 6th in the Peach Belt right now. The magic number to clinch a spot in the top 8. The top 8 teams make the Peach Belt Conference Tournament, which will be played here in Columbus at Ragsdale Field and at Golden Park on May 9th and 10th, a single elimination Saturday and Sunday. The magic number for the Cougars to clinch a spot in the tournament is 2. So they could get that done with a sweep today or a Montevallo loss or 2. Montevallo currently the 9th place team, and they're 4 games back of CSU in the loss column. Christopher Michaels, right fielder, is set to lead it off, and our first pitch of the game is high for ball 1, and we are underway at 1:07 here this afternoon. Not too bad considering the long senior ceremony before the game. Next pitch is fouled away, 1-1. 14 seniors on the club. Chris Michaels comes in hitting .297 on the season for the Jaguars. 12 RBIs, no home runs. And Jake trying to get a baseball that is to his liking. Now he has one. The big right-hander is back up on top. And the 1-1 pitch is chopped toward third. Blake Edwards fields on the grass, throws, and he got it. Blake was a step in on the grass anyway, and he grabbed that one easily and made the play for out number 1. And that will bring up Jim Wagner, the left fielder. Wagner hitting .333 on the season with a home run and 10 RBIs. You could tell the sun is out here at Ragsdale as some of the people in the stands trying to get up to the back row. There's a looping fly ball to the left. The left fielder, Matt Nettles, is going to reach up at the last minute and make a grab. That ball kept carrying. Matt turned toward the line to begin with, and then he turned the other way toward the gap and reached up and made the catch for out number 2. This first row next to the press box generally is a shaded area, and so it's a very popular row here. Fans are filling in that row with that sun out right now. Here's Clint Hardy, the center fielder for the Jaguars. He's their leading hitter average-wise, .429, 5 home runs and 23 RBIs. First pitch swinging, and he hits a bomb out to right center, and that ball is gone. Didn't get any help with the wind on that one as the flags are hanging limp out there right now, but Clint Hardy just left the ballpark with his 6th home run of the year. He's in second place, the club, with that category. So Augusta on top, 1-0. Much like the series we did with Georgia Southwestern came in here, and that club was very loose, had nothing to play for, really nothing to lose. And there's a strike on the outside corner to Drew Taylor. Taylor leads the club in home runs and RBIs. 9 home runs, 33 RBIs, 367 hitter, hitting from the right side of the plate. And he fouls it off on the breaking ball, and it's 0-2. This Georgia Regents team, likewise, they're 7-14 in the Peach Belt, likely not making the conference tournament, so they come in very loose. Pitch is fouled off of the foot of Taylor down the third base line, and he tries to walk it off there in the batter's box. Taylor's a junior out of Blackshear, Georgia, 6'1", 180. Ezel peers over the glove, and the fastball just misses outside. A ball and 2 strikes. Jake gets the sign from Dustin Averett, and the 1-2 pitch in on his hands and fouled back to the screen. Ezel got the first 2 easily, but then Clint Hardy on the first pitch he saw, their center fielder jumped on one and hit it a long way out of the ballpark into deep right center and over the fence. And the 1-2 pitch on the way to Taylor, again in on his hands, and he fought it off and fouled it down the first base side. After today, there is one more regular season home game left. That will be Wednesday when Valdosta State comes in here for a 5 o'clock game. There's a drive, deep left field. Matt Nettles at the wall. That ball is off the wall. Taylor digging for 2, and he's in there sliding with a double. That ball hit high off the wall in left center field. They almost had back-to-back homers, but a double for Drew Taylor. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Nick Rao. Rao, a .333 hitter on the season with 2 home runs and 27 RBI. So Valdosta State in here next Wednesday, 5 o'clock, and we'll broadcast that game as well. And then the Cougars will be at Armstrong next weekend to wrap up the Peach Belt schedule and the regular season. The pitch breaking ball high. And then after Wednesday, our next broadcast will be the Peach Belt tournament on May 9th right here, and then we'll do every CSU postseason game. Hopefully there'll be a regional and a World Series to broadcast. Swing and a miss, took a little bit off of that one. Count is even at 1-1, but old rival Valdosta State in here next Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And again, we'll have it for you right here. 1-0 Augusta on top. Man at second, 2 down in the top of the first. Taylor gets his lead, and the breaking ball stayed inside, and it's 2-1. Taylor, the DH for the Jaguars, gets his lead out at second. And the pitch inside, tried to check his swing. They asked the base umpire. He says no swing. Working, of course, with 2 umpires in regular season on this level. So with a runner at second, the base umpire is to the third base side of the mound. Between short and second. The 3-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. So that runs the count full. Jake trying to do some damage control here in this inning. The big right-hander to the belt, checks the runner at second and to the plate, misses outside for ball 4. It's the first walk issued by Ezel. We'll bring up the first baseman, Connor Gilbert, 327 hitter. A home run, 13 RBIs. So after 2 quick outs, a home run, a double high off the wall, and a walk. Ezel to the belt, to the plate, misses low and away, ball 1. Jake with outstanding stuff, and he will have control problems from time to time. He can, because he's got such great stuff, he can work his way out of trouble with a strikeout pitch of his. There's a strike on the outside corner. And the count is even at 1-1. Ezel gets the sign from Dustin Averett, and the 1-1 pitch, breaking ball in the dirt. Good stop by Dustin. Keep that in front of him. 2-1 now. Got some people sitting out on the hill behind the left field fence, underneath the balcony of the Cunningham Center. A lot of them using that for shade out there today. 2-1 pitch on the way to the plate. Chopped foul down the third base line, and that evens the count at 2-2. Hunter Bowling, reserve catcher, pops out of the dugout to grab that foul ball. Runners lead from first and second, and the pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. There's utilizing the strikeout to prevent further damage. The Jaguars pick up 1 run on Clint Hardy's home run, and they leave a couple of men on. We go to the bottom of the first in game 1. Augusta 1. The Cougars just now coming into bat. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
CSU fans, your membership in the Cougar Club helps more than 250 CSU student athletes to take Cougar athletics to the next level. Funds raised from the Cougar Club memberships allow CSU to provide scholarships, travel, uniforms, equipment, medical services, recruitment costs, and much more. You can get more info and join the Cougar Club online at csucougars.com, or you can contact Roger Schultz at 706-562-1756. Become a Cougar Club member today.
Columbus State University, committed to excellence in the classroom and on the court. Burger King is proud to support Columbus State University. Over the years, the men's and women's teams have built a tradition of hometown success. This success is founded on a dedication to the highest standards of preparation, practice, and performance. You see it on the court, and you see it in the classroom. Columbus State University, a standard of excellence Burger King is proud to support.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540 WDAK.
Bottom of the first inning here, and the Jaguars on top 1-0 as David Bermudez gets his warm-up tosses in. Bermudez, a 6'1", 205-pound right-hander out of Cumming, Georgia. 2-0 with an ERA of 3.60, 25 innings. 17 strikeouts, 6 walks, 10 earned runs, 30 hits in those 25 innings. He'll face Brendan Collins, Jackson Oliver, and Mike McClellan scheduled up here in the first inning for the Cougars. And here's the center fielder, Brendan Collins, having an outstanding year. .410. Leading the club in that batting average category. 5 home runs, 37 RBIs, a triple, 16 doubles, and 29 out of 29 in the stolen base department, and playing great center field. First pitch to Brendan is over the outside corner for a called strike 1. Brendan had a 20-game hitting streak earlier this year. Bermudez comes to the plate and misses for ball 1, 1-1. Bermudez, by the way, working out of the stretch. And this is the third game that he started. Fouled back to the screen. 1 and 2. He started 2 games in 12 appearances, so mostly a reliever, and he has started the game working out of the stretch, standing on the first base side of the rubber. And the pitch in on his hands, popped up. Third baseman, a shallow pop-up. Tyler Roberts. Step back of the bag. He's under it, and he's got it for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Jackson Oliver, the Cougar right fielder. Jackson, a .323 average on the season, 4 home runs and 28 RBIs. Jackson has had an 8-game hitting streak earlier this year. The longest active streak is Matt Nettles' 6. Pitch misses outside, 1-0. Lady Cougars softball team off to a good start against Flagler. CSU has scored 3 runs in the first inning, still batting, I believe, leading at 3-0. Next pitch misses, and it's 2-0. Final home games for the softball team. Swung on, fouled it back into the glove of catcher Cole Thompson. And the count goes to 2-1. 2-1 pitch is a sharply hit ball up the middle for a base hit. Diving attempt by the shortstop Boos. Couldn't come up with it. So a 1-out single off the bat of Jackson Oliver, and that'll bring up the DH, Big Mike McClellan. Mike with 13 home runs on the season. Home run number 13 was a walk-off game winner against Albany State in the first game of a doubleheader here this week on Tuesday. Mike with 58 RBIs leads the club in that category as well. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-0. Mike also hitting .353 on the season. Jackson Oliver on at first. Gets a decent lead over there, and the pitch to McClellan actually hits him. I started to say high and inside, which it was, but it actually grazed the helmets. So a hit batter. And that'll put runners at first and second and 1 out, and will bring the head coach for GRU Augusta, Jason Eller, out to the mound. That was a one-sided conversation. The coach did all the talking. Here's Dustin Averett, the Cougar catcher, here in game 1 of this doubleheader. Dustin hitting .296 with 6 home runs and 20 RBIs on the season. So the Cougars trail it 1-0 in the bottom of the first in game 1, but first and second and just 1 down. First pitch swinging, fouled it away over the bullpen down the right field line, 0-1. Dustin checking Coach Patrick Collins down at third to get the sign. Check of the runner out at second, and the pitch is a strike on the inside corner, 0-2. First base coach today is Sammy Stiers. Of course, Coach Greg Appleton, the longtime and highly successful head coach for the Cougars in the dugout. Next pitch just misses a little outside, and it goes to 1-2. You could see Dustin's head turn as he followed that all the way into the mitt. Bermudez shakes off a couple of signs. Now he has one he likes. And the pitch, breaking ball, tried to get him to chase one that was just off the outside corner. Dustin with a nice job of laying off of that one. 3:35 down the lines here. 4:03 to straightaway center field. Jaguars had a solo home run to right center in the top of this inning. Hit another one high off the left field wall. Pitch is in on his hands and fouled away. And this count stays even at 2-2. Again, Coach Collins with the signs down there. It's a little humid today with the soupy atmosphere. Could go for some soup about now. The 2-2 is fouled off at the plate. And the count stays even at 2-2. Softball team with a 4 spots in the first inning and still batting, leading Flagler down there 4-0. 2-2 pitch, line down the right field line, but it is slicing foul and out of play. Tried to steer one down toward that corner, but just sliced it foul. Like my golf shot, but only the slice part of it. The distance part looked nothing like it. Mine would have been slicing just about the dugout instead of the outfield wall. Check of the runner out at second again, and the 2-2 pitch popped him up. On the infield, second baseman Nick Rao battling the sun, having trouble, and he makes the catch as an infield fly rule. But he made it interesting nonetheless. So 2 down on a couple of infield pop-ups.
The first baseman, number 12, Chris Daniels.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Chris Daniels. Chris Daniels, 351 hitter on the season. 19 RBIs, 3 home runs. So the Jaguars got their run following 2 outs. Let's see if the Cougars can get some 2-out magic going here. First pitch swinging, fouling it over toward the tennis courts and out of play. 0-1. There's a spring volleyball exhibition matches going on in the rec center today. Breaking ball misses inside. And the count is even at 1-1. Before I knew that, I looked down at the softball field and saw the Georgia College bus, and I thought the Georgia College bus driver had taken a wrong turn somewhere. Wrong turn in Albuquerque, but there's a little spring volleyball going on here on campus. 1-1, fastball misses, and it's 2-1. As a small plane takes off from the airport and circles back toward the ballpark here. Next pitch is driven deep right field. Right fielder back, though, just short of the track. Christopher Michaels. He got it off the end of the bat a little bit, or he might have been in business. Michaels making the catch just short of the track. So the Cougars strand a couple and come up empty here in the first inning. We played one. It is Augusta 1, Columbus State nothing. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540, WDAK. Cougar Baseball is sponsored by Pepsi, Burger King, the Wingate Hotel in Bradley Park, CB&T, and the St. Francis Orthopedic Institute. Follow the Cougars on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540, WDAK. Now, back to Host Hunters.
We're searching the radio neighborhood for a great talk show that Gabe and Renee can call their own.
The Valley's Morning News.
I really like a show that can be serious but knows how to party like me.
We found the perfect combination right here.
The Valley's Morning News with Scott and Wes.
Perfect, and we won't have to renovate. Their perfect show is move-in ready.
Monday, 7 to 9 on News Radio 540, WDAK. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540, WDAK.
1-0 Jaguars on top as we go to the second inning here at Ragsdale Field. In Toronto, the Braves lead the Blue Jays 1-0. Game 2 of that 3-game set. Up in Canada, Braves won a wild game last night with 7 home runs hit. The home plate umpire comes back and there's a drain right behind home plate. Back toward the warning track and came over and adjusted that a little bit. All the water is draining from the field to the track and off. The pitch is fouled away. First pitch to Cole Thompson, the fine catcher for the Jaguars. Thompson, 316, home run and 17 RBIs on the season. Pitch from Ezel misses. 1-1. Braves had Johnny Gomes a pinch hit home run in the 8th inning to lead that off, and then later in the inning, Freddie Freeman hit a bomb in the upper deck, a 2-run shot. Pitches downstairs. Put them up by 3, and then the Blue Jays got a couple in the bottom of the inning, but the Braves able to hang on. There's a chopper over the mound and back into center field for a base hit. So a leadoff hit here in the second, and that's the 3rd hit of the game for the Jaguars. And we'll bring up the shortstop, Hunter Boose. Boose, a .260 hitter on the season, a home run and 15 RBIs. Number 8 hitter. Let's see how the Jags want to play this here with a 1-run lead in the second. Not bunting and swinging, and fouls it back to the screen. Thompson, the catcher over at first, gets his lead, just a short lead. And the pitch in on his hands, fouled it over into the Cougar dugout. Had everybody scrambling over there to get out of the way of that sharply hit foul ball. So Boose is in the hole at 0-2. Check of the runner at first, to the belt and to the plate. Tried to check his swing and ended up fouling it straight down at the plate to stay alive. Good Saturday afternoon crowd on hand. Haven't had anything to cheer about early here in the ball game. pitch misses inside. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Jake Ezel, one of the 14 seniors on the club, the long look in. He's going to throw to first instead, and Thompson is back safely. North Georgia, played in one of 2 games that were able to be played last night. They beat Francis Marion 11-5. They sit atop the league with a 19-6 conference record. Sharply hit ball to third. Could be 2. The second one on the first. 2. A double play. Blake Edwards to Carson Bowers to Chris Daniel. 5-4-3, and just like that, 2 down.
With 2 outs, now batting the third baseman, number 3, Tyler Roberts.
Got to bring up the third baseman, Tyler Roberts, number 9 hitter, 258, no home runs and 8 RBIs. Hits from the right side of the plate. Back to the full windup for Ezel, and he powers a first pitch fastball in there, 4 strike 1. So North Georgia 19-6, Armstrong in second 16-7. The next pitch misses outside, and it's 1-1. Flagler 16-8, Pembroke in fourth at 15-9, Aiken 16-11, CSU in sixth at 14-10. Francis Marion 12-11. There's a chopper to third. Blake Edwards fields, throws, and he got it. So the leadoff single is wiped out in the double play, and nothing doing otherwise here for the Jaguars in the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Augusta leading CSU 1-0. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
Looking for relaxing and comfortable overnight accommodations in Columbus? Call the Wingate Hotel. You'll find newly remodeled rooms, complete with HD 46-inch televisions and a secure high-speed wireless and wired internet connection. You can relax in their spa or saltwater pool. Near Bradley Park, the Wingate Hotel is convenient for shopping, dining, and entertainment, and they offer complimentary shuttle transportation to most local destinations. The Wingate Hotel, 1711 Rollins Way in Bradley Park. Call 706-225-1000.
You're busy with places to go and people to see. At CD&T, we understand. That's why we created the Synovus Connections prepaid card. Use it for purchases, ATM withdrawals, and even get cash back. It's an affordable alternative to checking, simple to load, and can be replaced if lost or stolen. Plus, there's no credit check required. Let CD&T help you manage your busy lifestyle. Visit us for details or to open your Synovus Connections card today. CD&T, a division of Synovus Bank, member FDIC. Fees and restrictions apply, subject to approval.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540 WDAK.
Bottom of the second, and Matt Nettles, the Cougar left fielder, will lead it off in a 1-0 game with the Jaguars on top. Matt, 358 on the season with 8 home runs and 39 RBI, so he's having an outstanding year. And the first pitch misses outside, ball 1. Matt has the current longest hitting streak on the team, 6 games. Blaine Miller has a 4-game streak going. Pitch misses away. And it's 2-0. Longest of the year was that 20 by Brendan Collins that I mentioned earlier. 2-0 pitch taking all the way. It's right at the knees, and it's 2-1. So as you heard Coach Appleton say, Cougars have built a good resume for the NCAA tournament. Pitch is high and inside, 3-1. They've got 31 wins. They have some very quality wins. But right now they're sitting 6th in the league. So fly ball into center, and center fielder Hardy drifting back. Boy, that ball just kept carrying, and he ended up catching it just short of the track. So the ball is carrying nicely here today to right, center, and center. No surprise, that's usually the jet stream where the ball carries best here, even when the wind is not blowing like it is currently not. So one down, and here's the second baseman, Carson Bowers, .351 hitter on the season, 5 home runs, 35 RBIs. So Greg just feels he'd feel more comfortable being able to move up in the top 4 of the league at least. The pitch is in there for a strike, and he thinks with a couple of wins here today and a couple of wins at Armstrong next weekend, he would be able to do that. The 0-1 is fouled back to the screen, 0-2, but that's easier said than done, of course. You've got a GRU Augusta team that comes in here very loose. They've had some nice wins. They've been scattered around, granted, but they've had a few nice wins this year. Pitch misses. And it's always tough down at Armstrong. Count 1-2 on Carson. The 1-2 pitch popped him up into medium right center field. Center fielder Hardy over. He's under it. And he's got it for out number 2. That'll bring up the third baseman, Blake Edwards.
With 2 outs.
.344 on the season.
Edwards.
With a home run and 27 RBIs. Recipient of the Gold Glove for his fine defensive play last year. The pitch is in there for a called strike. And an unusual sight for Blake. Here we are on the bottom of the second inning, and his uniform is still relatively clean. The 0-1 catches the outside corner. 0-2. But the balls that have been hit to him so far in this game have been right at him, so not a chance to dive. He usually gets in the dirt before the last note of the national anthem dies away. Fly ball into center field again, so 3 fly balls to center, and the Cougars are down 1-2-3 here in the second inning at Ragsdale. We've played 2. GRU Augusta leading Columbus State 1-0. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
There are a lot of kids in this country who didn't have a parent at their baseball games or recitals because their parents were serving in faraway places. But now their parents are coming home from battle, some with wounds you can see and some with wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Every day, Wounded Warrior Project assists wounded warriors and their families with the Warriors to Work program, a program that helps warriors translate their military experience to civilian job experience. And they help employers find the right warrior for the right job.
My mom used to be a tank programmer. Now she works with computers. I'm really glad she's home because I can't eat my dad's marshmallow macaroni anymore. I was 2 when my dad went away to war. He was there for 3 of my birthdays. Now he's home and he's a logistics specialist.
If you're looking for proven professionals, contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540 WDAK.
Top of the third inning here at Ragsdale, 1-0 GRU Augusta on top. Back to the top of the order for the Jags. Christopher Michaels grounded to third. His first time up. Jake Ezell got 2 quick outs in the top of the first inning before the third batter, Clint Hardy, jumped on the first pitch and hit it out of the ballpark. And first pitch hits Michaels. So a painful but productive way to start the third for the Jaguars. Jim Wagner, the left fielder. Let's see how the Jags will play this with a 1-0 lead in the top of the third with a leadoff man on. Wagner is a left-handed hitter. Edwards is in on the grass at third, creeping in as the pitch is delivered. He shows bunt and takes a pitch high and outside, 1-0. You could hear the players in the Cougar dugout yelling bunt. Runner leads from first, showing bunt again, and he bunts it down the first base line. One play as Chris Daniel fields it, and he'll tag the runner, Wagner, going to the bag at first. The sacrifice is accomplished, 3 unassisted for out number 1, and Michaels goes down to second.
The center fielder, number 10, Clint Hardy.
And here's Clint Hardy, who's seen just one pitch in this game, and then we all saw it leave the yard for his 6th home run. Let's see who will win the battle this time. That wind picking up out to right center. Nothing drastic. Off-speed pitch is low and in the dirt, and it's 1-0. 1 run on 3 hits for the Jaguars. No runs on 1 hit for the Cougars. Early in the game, game 1 of the doubleheader, top of the third. Ezel gets the sign. And the pitch. Fastball on the inside corner for a called strike. Hardy didn't like it. He thought it was a little inside. He stands deep in the batter's box, right on top of the plate. Check of the runner at second again. And again, the 1-1 breaking ball, low and away. 2-1. Nice scramble out by Dustin Averett to corral that one. Kind of a lazy Saturday afternoon here with fans enjoying the sunshine. Well, after what we've had this week with all the rain and the clouds, this is a nice little break, but it'll only be a little break apparently with more rain coming in tonight and tomorrow. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Haven't been able to cut the grass because it's been constantly wet. I may have to see if any of you fans have a goat that I could borrow. Just turn him loose and let him start eating away at the weeds in the grass in my yard. Pitch is fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And if I got any milk or cheese as a bonus out of the deal of having the lawn cutting goat, all the better. Multitasking goat. Check of the runner at second. The 2-2 breaking ball. Whoo, just missed somewhere. Boy, Jake staring in, and he really wanted that call. He snapped the glove on the return throw back. He thought he had gotten the corner with that breaking ball for the strikeout, but that runs the count full at 3-2 now. He takes a little time to get over that little fit of amazement. Back up on top. And the payoff pitch. That one's low, no question about that, in the dirt. 4-4. So that's the second walk issued by Jake. And we'll bring up Drew Taylor, the designated hitter, and their leading home run guy. 9 home runs and 7 doubles. Double number 7 came in the first inning, high off the left center field fence. So some trouble brewing for Jake Ezel here in the top of the third. With the Jags leading at 1-0, they've got first and second and 1 down. Check of the runner at second, and the pitch fastball just missed the outside corner. He's trying to work that outside corner, and so far the plate umpire has a very narrow strike zone, especially on the outside. He's been a little more generous inside here early in the game. The 1-0 pitch. That one misses about the same spot. Might have been a little low also, and it's 2-0. Told you that Jake is a big, strong guy. He'll throw a lot of pitches. 22 walks and 30 strikeouts coming into this game. The 2-0 pitch to Taylor misses with a breaking ball. Ball 3. So dangerous situation here. Leading home run hitter. Let's see if they give him the green light on a 3-0 pitch with first and second and one down. Top of the third with the Jaguars leading at 1-0. Ezel, the long look in. Gets a sign he likes from Avert. Check of the runner at second, and the 3-0 pitch nowhere near. Low and away, ball 4. So 2 walks in a row, 3 in the game, and here comes Coach Greg Appleton out of the dugouts as Jake has been his own worst enemy here in this ball game in this third inning, as a hit batter and back-to-back walks have loaded the bases. And Coach Appleton out talking with Jake. Jake has had some back problems this year. He had muscle spasms, a little tightness in his back, and that was a concern last night as Greg finishes the meeting. And again, that was one of those one-sided conversations. Jake didn't say a thing, but yes, sir, as Greg did all the talking otherwise. That was a concern last night. Greg really did not want to get the game started, which we could have started at 6. It was not raining at the time, but there was a ton of rain coming in right after that. He didn't want to get it started and lose the starting pitcher. Jake was not the type guy that could get up and get down and get loose a couple of times in that situation and that weather last night. Well, they made a good decision by not starting the game when it was scheduled to start and waiting, and then it just ended up with too much rain. So that one canceled, and 2-game series with both games today now. All right, ready to go. First pitch is in there for a called strike to Nick Rao, the second baseman. He walked his first time up. There's a Jaguar at every base with Augusta leading 1-0 in the top of the third. Just one down. Back at double play depth in the middle. First baseman Chris Daniel also back behind the runner, and a step back of the bag, Blake Edwards at third. The pitch from Jake is pulled foul down the third baseline, 0-2. As I said, Jake has got good enough stuff that he does have a good strikeout pitch, and he's able to get big strikeouts to get himself out of trouble from time to time. One of those in the first inning, where after scoring a run, they had first and second, 2 outs, got a strikeout to end it. The 0-2 pitch, trying to get him to chase a bad one, fastball high and away, not close enough for Rao to offer at it. And it's 1-2. Softball team up 4-0 on Flagler. Second inning down there. The next pitch fouled away. So he stays alive, a ball and 2 strikes. Fought off a pitch that was inside. Jake peers in. Cougars have already turned 1 double play here today. Next pitch, that could be another one. Bounced to short, but it's going to be too slow. A throw to second is not in time. It gets away from Carson Bowers, and 2 runs are going to score. That ball had too many hops in it to even have a chance at a double play. They were going to get lucky to have a chance at the force, but the throw to Carson Bowers bounced off his glove and in the center field. And that allowed 2 runs to score. Michaels and Hardy. And Taylor is down at second. Rao is on with the fielder's choice. Still only 1 down, and 3-0 Augusta. Slow roller off the end of the bat as the runners were going from first and second. A hit and run by the Jaguars. Foul down the first base side. So now Jake really's got to do some damage control here. Connor Gilbert. The 0-1 pitch will not be made as he looks the runner Taylor back to second. 1 run was going to score on that play regardless, of course. Rao gets 1 RBI. Pitch misses inside. 1-1. The error was on the shortstop, Ryan Eiley. Check of the runner at second, and the 1-1 swing and a foul back in the glove of Aberts. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch on the way to the plate. Breaking ball low and away and in the dirt. 2-2. Averett making like a goalie, sliding out to his right to block the ball. National Hockey League playoffs are underway. 2 balls, 2 strikes. NBA playoffs get started today. Hawks open tomorrow. 2-2 has popped up into shallow right field. Jackson Oliver, sunglasses gleaming, cap flying off, under it near the line, and he's got it. For out number 2, he quickly gets the ball back in, and the runners hold at first and second. And that'll bring up the catcher, Cole Thompson. So just 1 of the runs will be earned in this inning. No matter how many more they score. Scored twice to lead at 3-0. We are in just the top of the third, though. Fastball is a little inside. 4-1. Runners lead from first and second. And the pitch, there's the strike. And count is even at 1-1 on the number 7 hitter in the Jaguar lineup. Jay gets the sign. Comes set. And to the plate. In on his hands, popped it up, but it's going to get out of play over the first base side. And the count goes to 1-2 on Thompson. Lady Cougars have added another 4 spot in the second inning. Back-to-back innings, they've done that, and they lead Flagler 8-0 down there. Game 1 of their doubleheader. Ezel taking a lot of time out there, and Thompson asked for and is granted time. Ball and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. He reaches out and loops one into right. Here comes Jackson Oliver, and a diving attempt and a diving catch. He saved another run. He just looped it right off the end of the bat, and Jackson Oliver, a full-out dive, extended, had a little snow cone with the ball at the end of the glove, but he hung on to it, and that saved a run and ended the inning. But the Jaguars pick up a couple of runs. There was one Columbus error that allowed a run to score. We go to the bottom of the third inning in game 1, and Augusta leading CSU 3-0. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
Columbus State University, committed to excellence in the classroom and on the court. Burger King is proud to support Columbus State University. Over the years, the men's and women's teams have built a tradition of hometown success. This success is founded on a dedication to the highest standards of preparation, practice, and performance. You see it on the court, and you see it in the classroom. Columbus State University, a standard of excellence Burger King is proud to support.
In blind taste test, consumers are asked to choose which cola taste they prefer.
I usually drink Coke, but the Pepsi was way better than the Coke. You can tell the difference.
I was a little bit surprised. The Pepsi's sweeter.
Pepsi hit it right on the money.
Nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi versus Coke where they have a preference.
I'm a Coke drinker, and I took the Pepsi challenge, and I like Pepsi. I'll give Pepsi a shot now.
Let your taste decide. Pepsi, a Southern original. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540 WDAK.
So the Jaguars able to score 2 runs in the top of the inning without the benefit of a base hit. 2 walks, a hit batter, and an error figured into all of that. Here's Ryan Eiley, the shortstop for the Cougars, number 9 hitter, and he's hit by a pitch, a breaking ball, first pitch. So a good start here for the Cougars in the third. That's the second hit batter for David Bermudez. Back to the top of the order, and Brendan Collins. He popped at third his first time up. Third baseman is a step back of the bag. He better be careful. Brendan can drop one down in a heartbeat. And he shows bunt, and there's a strike on the outside corner. Coach Collins with the signs down at third. Collins steps back in the box. And swinging this time right off the end of the bat, a little cue shot foul over toward the first base dugout, 0-2. Need to chalk it up again on that one. Right off the end of the bat. I think it just grazed the end as it was going by. Brendan in a hole, 0-2. Pops the next one up into shallow right field. Michaels is under it, and he's got it for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the Cougar right fielder Jackson Oliver. He singled up the middle his first time up.
With one out and a runner on first. Now batting the right fielder, number 21, Jackson Oliver.
Jackson hits from the left side of the plate. Open stance. Throw over the first, and Eiley is back safely. Ryan is 3 for 3 in the stolen base department, as the junior out of Ferny Grove, Australia, gets his lead at first. Fastball is high. One and 0 to Jackson. Junior out of Troop High School in LaGrange. Bermudez comes to the plate, and there's a ball ripped just foul down the first base line. Man, he just missed that bag. Would have been extra bases. Count is even at 1-1. The first baseman, Gilbert, who's holding the runner on, had already jumped away from the bag when the pitch was delivered, and he had no shot to get that one, and it was just inches foul. Almost caught the corner of the bag. One pitch. That misses. 2-1. Two-one pitch. Throw to first instead. He's back safely. The CSU Athletic Department hosting the inaugural Girls in the Game Luncheon. That's coming up on Thursday, April the 30th. It's a benefit to raise funds and support for CSU's women's athletics program. Throw with the first, back safely. The Girls in the Game Luncheon, the first event of its kind at Columbus State. Never has been a gathering designed for women by women to empower CSU's female student athletes. Riverville Event Center, April 30th, 11:30 a.m. And you can go online. Pitch is popped up. Foul territory. Will it stay in play? Yes, it will. Third baseman Tyler Roberts stumbling a little bit back toward the line, but he makes the catch for out number 2. So after getting a leadoff man on with a hit by a pitch, a couple of pop-ups here, and here's Mike McClellan, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. So if you'd like more information, be able to attend the event, go to csucougars.com, and you'll see the banner at the top of the page, Girls in the Game. Click on that, and it'll give you more information and a chance to sign up to attend. The pitch is downstairs, 1-0 to Big Mike. Let one fly here, Mike, and get the Cougars back to within a run. CSU trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the third. Breaking ball in the dirt, kicks away from Thompson, but not far enough for Eiley to break from first. So it's 2-0. Dustin Averett is on deck. They're 2 down in the inning, though. Bermudez taking a lot of time. The pitch fouled away and on his hands. 2-1. We'll have these 2 games today, and then the final regular season home game will be this coming Wednesday. Valdosta State, 5 o'clock. We'll broadcast that for you. Old rival Valdosta State, as McClellan asked for time, and it's granted. We're in the same conference for years, and I'll get here early just to boo their bus when they pull up. Pitches downstairs. Snap throw back. Safe. 3-1. Always think of our old friend Cecil Darby, CSU Hall of Famer, former writer for the Columbus Ledger. Great, great sports writer. Loved CSU. Hated their opponents. Pitches inside. Throw down to second was not necessary. It was ball 4. Eiley swiped it, but won't get credit for that, of course. So Eiley at second and McClellan at first on the walk. And that's the first walk issued by Bermudez. And here is Dustin Averett representing a potential tying run here with 2 down in the bottom of the third. Cecil used to say that. He'd Valdosta State or West Georgia or Augusta, another team that was in the old South Atlantic Conference with us. Bouncing ball in the dirt. 1-0. Armstrong, same way, they were in that conference. Cecil said he'd like to get here early just to boo the bus. I hope he's doing well. The 1-0 is downstairs. Snap throw back to second, and not in time, and a great play by Rao to keep that ball from going into center field. It took a wicked hop on a short throw, and he reached up and snared it. I don't know if the runners would have been able to move up because Clint Hardy was doing his job. The center fielder was backing up the play. It's 2-0 now on Dustin, so ahead in the count with runners at first and second and 2 down. And the pitch, ground ball through the hole in the right field for a base hit. They're going to wave the runner to the plate. There will be no throw to the plate. Throw back towards second, and the Cougars are on the board. It's 3-1 Augusta. Dustin Averett comes through with a 2-out RBI single. Scoring Ryan Eiley. And for Dustin, that is RBI number 21 on the season. Here's Chris Daniel. Let's see if the Cougars can keep it going here, have some more 2-out damage. Pitches downstairs. Yeah, so I hope Cecil Darby's doing well. If you're listening now and you see Cecil from time to time still, and next time you see him, I would appreciate you passing along that, talking about him, and miss him out here. I hope he's doing well. Throw back to second. It hits the runner, Mike McClellan, right in the back and drops at his feet. So Mike has been hit by a pitch while a batter today, and he's been hit by a thrown ball while a runner out at second. At some point, you want Big Mike to get some revenge on his own and hit a ball out of the park here today. It could happen. Pitches downstairs. 2-0. So Bermudez has been all over the place. Both pitchers really have here through the first 3 innings. Not quite 3 innings. 3 full innings. And Thompson runs out to talk to his pitcher. Slowly moving ball game. Don't these guys know we've got rain coming in here again tonight? Chop, chop, huh, fellas? 2-0 to Chris. He's in good shape and takes a pitch high and away. 3-0. Jaguars have a left-hander getting loose in their bullpen. Let's see if they turn Chris loose on a 3-0. Taking all the way, nowhere near, ball 4, and that will load the bases. So the second walk in this inning and a hit batter. 1 run is already scored. The bases are loaded and 2 down. And here's the left fielder, Matt Nettles. He flied to center his first time up in the second inning. Jaguars still lead at 3-1, but the Cougars are threatening, and now Bermudez is going to ask for time, and he runs to the mound to talk to his right-hander. I don't know if he actually had something he wanted to say or if he was just sent out there by his dugout to allow, he was just sent out by the dugout to allow the left-hander more time to get loose. I say that because out comes the Augusta coach. Has not made a move to the bullpen yet, however, as he gathers.
Toronto in the top of the 5th inning is Braves 4, Blue Jays nothing.
Gathers all of his infield around him. Braves up on Toronto 4-0 in the 5th inning, I believe, in that one. Still haven't made a move to the bullpen. They've been out there a long time. Now the plate umpire will come out to try to break it up, and now he makes the move. So, well, they let him stay out there a long time and allowed his left-hander to get some more tosses in, and there will be a pitching change. We'll take this 60-second pitching change break. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
CSU fans, your membership in the Cougar Club helps more than 250 CSU student athletes to take Cougar athletics to the next level. Funds raised from the Cougar Club memberships allow CSU to provide scholarships, travel, uniforms, equipment, medical services, recruitment costs, and much more. You can get more info and join the Cougar Club online at csucougars.com, or you can contact Roger Schultz at 706-562-1756. Become a Cougar Club member today.
Is Glenn Beck crazy or what?
You tell me I'm crazy that the government is out of control. You tell me that I'm crazy because there's no sense whatsoever.
Make me crazy.
How are you?
This is crazy.
He might have one.
Go nuts with Glenn Beck. 9 till noon.
Oh, you're crazy.
News Radio 540 WDAK. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network. News Radio 540 WDAK.
All right, Jaguars have a new pitcher. He is Frank Warren, a left-handed junior, 6'1", 205-pounder out of Grayson, in Georgia. And let's see what Mr. Warren has done on the season. 1-2 with an ERA of 4.55. This is his 15th appearance, all but one. This is his 16th appearance, all but one in relief. 27 2/3 innings. And 14 earned runs, 6 walks, and 25 strikeouts. So Frank Warren has Bermudez able to go just 2 2/3. Hit 2 batters, walked a couple of batters, gave up just 2 hits, but putting people on base in other ways. And here is Matt Nettles. Lefty against lefty here, with the bases loaded. And 2 down. Breaking ball misses. 1-0. Cougars have scored a run on the 2-out RBI single off the bat of Dustin Avert. 1-0 pitch to Matt. Nowhere near. Misses low and away. And it's 2-0. So Matt Nettles ahead in the count now. 2-0 pitch right in there for a called strike. Appeared to be taking all the way, making him throw a strike. And he did, so now Matt will dig back in there. The 2-1 pitch on the way, just missed inside. Tried to nip the inside corner, but had it too far inside, and now the count is 3-1. With the bases loaded and 2 outs. A hit batter, a couple of walks, and a base hit in the inning. The 3-1 is driven down the right field line. Trouble if it's fair, but it is just foul down in that corner. He pulled it foul by about 3 or 4 feet as it turned out. It had a rope down the line, but it kept pulling and rattled around down in the corner in foul territory where that Burger King sign is. And that runs the count full. I could use a Burger King Whopper about now. Certainly by the time the 2 games are over today. All right, so this will get the merry-go-round going here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A run already in. 3-1 Jaguars. We play in the bottom of the 3rd. The payoff pitch on the way. Popped him up on the infield. And the shortstop Boos is calling for it just short of the outfield grass. He's under it, and he's got it. So a big job by Frank Warren coming in to put out the fire here and get the pop-up as the Cougars leave the bases loaded. They do pick up 1 run. We've played 3 innings here at Ragsdale in Game 1. GRU Augusta 3, Columbus State 1. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
You're busy with places to go and people to see. At CB&T, we understand. That's why we created the Synovus Connections prepaid card. Use it for purchases, ATM withdrawals, and even get cash back. It's an affordable alternative to checking, simple to load, and can be replaced if lost or stolen. Plus, there's no credit check required. Let CB&T help you manage your busy lifestyle. Visit us for details or to open your Synovus Connections card today. CB&T, a division of Synovus Bank, member FDIC. Fees and restrictions apply, subject to approval.
If you have family or friends looking for great overnight accommodations in Columbus, call the Wingate Hotel. You'll find newly remodeled rooms complete with HD 46-inch TVs and secure high-speed wireless and wired internet. Near Bradley Park in North Columbus, the Wingate Hotel is close to shopping, dining, and entertainment. And after your busy day, relax in their saltwater pool or spa. They offer a complimentary shuttle to most local destinations. The Wingate Hotel, 1711 Rollins Way in Bradley Park, 706-225-1000.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540 WDAK.
Top of the 4th in Game 1, 3-1. GRU Augusta on top. And 8, 9, and 1 due up in the order for the Jaguars here. Hunter Boos, the shortstop, hit into a 5-4-3 double play back in the 2nd inning. So Jake Ezel try to hold him right here, let the offense get cranked up again. The pitch is inside and low, 1-0. The Cougars now have a right-hander getting loose down in their bullpen. Could be Mike McGinnity down there. It's hard for me to see from the angle I've got here in the press box. The pitch is high, 2-0. I've got a couple of poles, a light pole, and some netting in the way. That might be Mike. Fastball misses inside, and it's 3-0. Jake has walked 3 today, and he's hit a batter. He's also struck out 1. 3-0 pitch, taking all the way, is in there for a called strike. I was talking about wanting that Burger King Whopper earlier, and Matt Golden's our studio producer, reminded me of something funny that we had on our morning show earlier this week. There's a pitch high, ball 4, so there's a leadoff walk here in the 4th inning, and the 4th walk issued by Jake Ezel, and here is Coach Appleton quickly out of the dugout, and he's got that walk like he wants to make a change. We'll see. No sign yet. He's up on top of the mound and talking with Jake. Cap bill to cap bill right now. He popped out of the dugout very quickly, and he's going to leave him in, but he is on a short string right now. Your defenders can't help you much if you're walking people. 4 today for Jake, and again that hit batter. And here is Tyler Roberts, the third baseman, 0 for 1, grounded to third, his first time up. Squares takes a strike on the inside corner. Our morning show, the Valley's Morning News, that I do with Wes Carroll, and Matt is our producer for that show as well. It was tax day, and there were some restaurants that giving away some free food on tax day. Shows bunt, and now swings away and pops it up. And shortstop Ryan Eiley going to call for it on the edge of the outfield grass behind third for the out. So the Jaguars tried to get a little tricky and cross the Cougars up. He showed bunt, pulled it back, and slapped at it and ended up popping it up. Blake Edwards was, he could have, the third baseman Edwards could have reached in and shook hands with the batter, and Blake had a, oh my gosh, look on his face when the guy decided to swing away. He was trying to hit the deck down there. Pitches in there for a strike to Christopher Michaels, back to the top of the order. And anyway, there was a website, and Burger King was giving away on tax day, buy a Whopper, get one free. We found a website where they said Burger King has a buy one Whopper, get a second Whopper free. Throw over the first, and he's back safely. I said, I don't know about the Whopper. I love me a Whopper, but never had the Whopper. I'm sure if Burger King had a Whopper, it would be quality stuff. I hope they got that corrected on the website before long. There, next pitch just misses outside. And it's 1-1. But they had it not in just one place misspelled, but 2 separate places in the same sentence. 1-1. There goes the runner. Hit and run. Fouled away down the right side and out of play. So the Jaguars aggressive here in this top of the fourth, leading it 3-1. And Michaels now in the hole at 1-2. Booth started the inning with a walk, and instead of trying to sacrifice him the second, they tried to fake a bunt, slap it, ended up popping it up for the first out. 1-2 pitch, misses low and away, and it's 2-2. More clouds have rolled in, and the sun that was warming things up nicely for a while, and behind the clouds now. 2-2 pitch won't be made. Throw over to first instead, and he's back safely. Softball team leading Flagler 8-2 in the bottom of the fourth inning in game one of their doubleheader here today on campus. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. 3-2. Another good stop by Dustin to keep that ball in front of him. Whoever had been warming up in the bullpen is ready, as they're sitting down there now. Payoff pitch on the way. There goes the runner. Pitch is hit up the middle. Could be 2. Bauer steps on the bag. Throws the first. He got him. Carson Bowers was moving towards second because the runner was going, and that was fortunate for CSU as Michaels rolled right into where Bowers was at second, and an easy step on the bag, throw to first, double play. 4 unassisted to 3. Second double play turned by the Cougars here this afternoon. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning in game 1. GRU Augusta leads Columbus State 3-1. This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540, WDAK. Cougar Baseball is sponsored by Pepsi, Burger King, the Wingate Hotel in Bradley Park, CB&T, and the St. Francis Orthopedic Institute. Follow the Cougars on the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540, WDAK.
Columbus State University, committed to excellence in the classroom and on the court. Burger King is proud to support Columbus State University. Over the years, the men's and women's teams have built a tradition of hometown success. This success is founded on a dedication to the highest standards of preparation, practice, and performance. You see it on the court, and you see it in the classroom. Columbus State University, a standard of excellence Burger King is proud to support.
This is the flagship station of the CSU Sports Network, News Radio 540, WDAK.
Carson Bowers will lead it off for the Cougars here in the bottom of the 4th. Carson just made that fine play in the top of the inning. 4 unassisted, 3 double play. And he faces the lefty Warren, his first full inning of work. Off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. Warren came in the last inning for Bermudez, came in with the bases loaded and 2 outs and got a pop-up to get out of the inning. And there's a sharply hit ball into left field for a base hit. So a good start by the Cougars here in the 4th. Hit it between the shortstop and the third baseman. And that is the 3rd hit of the afternoon for the Cougars. The hits are even at 3 apiece. Augusta got a home run in the 1st, and they scored 2 runs in the 3rd without the benefit of a base hit. Here's Blake Edwards. Fly to center, his first time up. First pitch from the lefty is high and away. 1-0. Braves up 4-0 on Toronto in the bottom of the 6th inning up in Canada. Alex Wood on the mound for Atlanta today. Pitch to the plate, fastball just missed outside. Plate umpire has not been generous on the outside corner today. A little bit on the inside corner. Carson Bowers gets his lead over there. Pitch to the plate, fly ball to center field. Center fielder Hardy going back, still backpedaling now, and he's under it short of the track. That ball fooled him a little bit because it got up in that right center field. You see him holding his hands out to his side now and throwing up a blade of grass out there to see what happened. The wind was blowing out that way a little bit, but what happened was the jet stream effect